After the Supreme Court ruled that President Obama's health care law was constitutional, we re-enter the political sphere, and we're going to decide this, of course, in the next election. If the Republicans do a clean sweep, they might repeal the law, and it might not take place when it is supposed to, which is, of course, in 2014. Some small provisions have already been enacted, but mostly they have not. Of course, that hasn't stopped Republicans from saying over and over on TV, look at that, Obamacare is costing jobs. How would that happen when it hasn't even started yet? Okay, it starts in 2014. Like I said, some small provisions. I don't even know how they would make the case that those tiny provisions have already cost jobs, but they're Republicans, they don't need facts. So what they're doing is putting pressure on Democrats in red states to switch over and vote for repealing it. Are you ready for this? This is going to be the 31st vote that they're going to have on repealing the health care bill by the House Republicans. 31 times! Well, of course the Senate doesn't agree to it. It's the Democrats controlling the Senate. Of course the president doesn't agree to it. I mean, you want to talk about political theater? What a giant waste of time. Did you think, if we try one more time, I think we might really get it? Okay, no, of course not. And what they want to do is peel off a couple more Democrats by putting pressure on them before the election so they can say, aha, you see that repealing Obamacare is bipartisan, because we got two guys in red states who agreed with us because they were scared that they were going to lose their elections. So that part of the story, though, is fairly standard. What's interesting, though, is the Democratic counterattack. First of all, Steny Hoyer says, you know, that they've tried this 31 times. You know how many bills they have proposed after those 31 instances where they would reform the health care that we have in this country? You know, they're supposed to repeal and then replace. Here's the number of replacement bills that the Republicans have proposed in health care. 0, right? None. They're not going to replace it with a damn thing. So that leads to the issue of, wait a minute, do you really want this repealed? And now the Democrats are running ads in 6 or 7 different Republican incumbent districts saying, hey, you know what? This guy's going to repeal health care law. They're running it in a North Dakota Senate race. And I mean, you want to talk about a red state? And the Democrat there is saying, hey, look, I've got this woman who was going to die of cancer, but she got coverage because of President Obama's health care bill. Now, what happens if they repeal it? I love this strategy. Look, there's a million ways that they can focus on Republicans doing this repeal and costing people their health care and maybe even their lives. But I would concentrate on 2 of them. Okay, the smaller line of attack, but the one that is really important is, under this health care, Affordable Care Act, women pay the same amount as men for insurance. Under the old way, they pay more. Now, if they repeal it, women would continue to pay more than men. Now, you run an ad on that and you say, okay, women, would you like to pay more than men for your insurance? How many women want to pay more? Go ahead and raise your hands. My guess is, out of 300 million people in the country, about 7 hands went up because, like, yo, whatever the Republicans say, please, I want to pay more, I want to pay more, right? No, it's going to appeal to women voters saying, hey, wait a minute. If they repeal it, why am I paying more than men? Now, you might be able to make a justification based on pregnancies, etc., but I believe men participated in that pregnancy, or at least getting there, etc. But the bottom line is, of course, women don't want to pay more. That seems unfair to them. But even the bigger part of it, pre-existing conditions. You would be covered under the Affordable Care Act if you have a pre-existing condition, which a lot of us do. In fact, that provision has an 82% popularity rate. I would take that and I would pound the Republicans with it. I'd beat them over the head with it. If you have a pre-existing condition, these guys are going to repeal the Affordable Care Act, and then you're on your own again, and you can't get insurance. If you have a problem with a pre-existing condition, they're going to let you die. In fact, the people helping me make that case are Republicans like David Dreyer. Now, here's a congressman who has basically admitted, yeah, that's the case. Let's go to clip number 6.
Someone who is diagnosed with a massive tumor should the next day be able to have millions and millions and millions of dollars of health care provided. I do believe that there can be a structure to deal with the issue of pre-existing conditions.
Did you understand what he said there? You got a pre-existing condition, which is this tumor. Now all of a sudden you want me to treat it? and spend millions of dollars trying to save your life? No, I'm in favor of a death panel, which is the private insurance companies which are going to deny you. And you know what's going to happen to you? You're going to die. No. Now, I don't want it to seem like fear-mongering or anything like that, but you heard the congressman for yourself just right there saying, I don't want to spend that money, and if you got a tumor, that's your problem, not my problem. You're a dead man. Now, I would take that and I'd run it in every district in the country. I say, hey, listen, these guys, if you got a pre-existing condition, you're not going to get insurance. It's going to be unaffordable. They don't even have it for you, let alone the fact that you can't afford it. So you want to repeal what you call Obamacare? Oh, run on that. Have at it, Hoss. Let me see you run on that, and I'm going to kick your ass on that.